Can I grow my main channel to 35 million subscribers? I don't have the perfect plan, but I'm going to outline in this video my current thinking that hopefully can inspire you in your content journey as well. And I'd also love your feedback. Maybe you can point out something that I'm doing wrong. So let's start off with why 35, where it comes from. I was sitting with a friend of mine, Ben Hardy, great friend of the channel. He wrote a book called 10X is Easier Than 2X. And the idea here is that it's easier to grow your company by 10X than it is by 2X. And at first that sounds crazy. How is it easier to grow 10X compared to 2X? But what it does is force you to think differently. So if you wanted to 2X your channel, your revenue, whatever your goal is, if you wanted to just 2X it, you could work twice as hard. That's what most people do. It's like, okay, I got from here to here. I can keep going down that path, this incremental growth. I just have to work harder and do more of the same things harder. But if you're gonna go 10X, you can't work 10 times harder. You can maybe work 2 times harder, but you can't work 10 times harder. So if you want to 10X whatever goal you've set for yourself, it means you have to think differently. That the way that you've been doing things in the past got you to where you are today, but you have to think differently going forward. And so when I met with Ben, I had 3.5 million subscribers. So 10X goal is 35. We're trying to change the world, solve the world's biggest problem. People don't believe in themselves. And so here is my plan for right now of how I'm going to accomplish that. Step number 1 is get 70% retention at 1 minute. This is something that we are obsessing over and need to continue to get better at. If you're not growing on YouTube, it's most likely because your retention curve sucks. Not that you suck, not that you're not making great content, but that your retention curve sucks. What that means is you could be making an hour-long video or half an hour-long video, but if you lose 40%, 60%, 80% of the people in the first minute, it doesn't matter what comes afterwards. The first minute was not very good and you lost everybody. So you have to keep that retention really high. So what we're doing is aiming for 70%. If you've been watching a lot of my videos recently, you'll notice that there's a lot of changes, get under here, a lot of changes that have been coming. There's this crazy tree that completely blocked the path. Nuts. Anyway, a lot of changes that we've been making on the videos. We've been doing faster intros. We've been adding music, sound effects, animations, rotoscopes, text on screen, trying to do more to capture the attention right away, because assume that people have no idea who you are. They're not your loyal audience. You're trying to grow to brand new people. So what do you need to show them, especially in that first minute, to hook their attention? And so we are obsessing over it, and we're getting better. We're getting better week by week by week by week. So I'm really pushing myself and my team to think 70% at 1 minute. How do we get there? Tracking every single change that we make to the video to see a week later how close to 70% are we consistently. And the biggest challenge is we're not consistent enough at it. We've had some videos hit 80% at 1 minute, and this is an hour-long plus video, 80% at 1 minute. If you can hold them for the first minute, you'll hold them for, not the whole video, but it's a slow decline. The biggest problem for most videos is in that first minute. The problem is we're not at 70 or 80% consistently. We're getting there, we're improving, and now we need to become obsessed with it. Number 2 is A/B testing our titles and thumbnails. You can spend so much time working on a video, scripting it, creating it, researching it, filming it, and you might spend half an hour to an hour filming and then more time even editing. And if your title thumbnails suck, then nobody clicks on it. It really feels terrible to be able to work so long in a video and then nobody watches it because your click-through rate is terrible. And so we've become obsessed with split testing titles and thumbnails on a video, so much to the point that we developed our own tool. It's gonna be released probably soon. No firm date. I'll keep you guys posted as we go. But we're doing it. We launched 100 new split tests yesterday. I've got a couple key people on as beta testers, split testing their videos. And what we do is, when people ask me, what is a good click-through rate on a video? Well, it really depends on how many impressions that video gets. So what our software does is find out all the videos on your channel, sort them by impression bands, and then recommend the videos that you should be tweaking. So for example, if a video gets 10,000 impressions, and has a 2% click-through rate. Is that good or is it bad? Depends. Let's compare it to another video on your channel that also has around 10,000 impressions that has a 6% click-through rate. Okay, now the 2% one sucks. You need to fix that one. And so what it does is automatically find, for the past 28 days, what are the videos that should be getting more views on your channel, that are getting a good number of impressions, but the click-through rate is low compared to other videos on your channel. So we sort videos by impression bands and then say, hey, go work on this video. You have to update the thumbnail or the title to improve, because YouTube right now is trying to promote this video, but nobody's clicking on it. and it's always based off of the past 28 days. And so what I found so fascinating about YouTube is that the videos that you make 5 years ago, 7 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago might still be the most popular videos right now on your channel. But the click-through rate may not be as good. We're so focused on the new videos that you have coming up that you forget about the videos that are already in your archive. Where typically when I'm coming into a channel and looking at somebody's content, giving them advice, the easiest way to grow their channel is not making new content, it's fixing the old content. And by fixing it just means giving a refresh to the thumbnails and titles. So what the software will do that I'm super excited by is automatically find the videos that should be performing better, help you run those split tests, and then keep track of how well each split test did, and keep a history for every video of what you've already tested in the past so that you know what to test and improve the next time. Number 3 is acquire content. So I've had the good fortune of working with some of the biggest names in the industry, and there's a lot of older names, historic names that aren't on YouTube or have very little content on YouTube, and I want to bring them back. It really saddens me that there's so many legends out there that most people don't know, that you could walk down the street, you have no idea who these people are. And so I'm trying to work out a couple deals where I'm going to acquire the content and then distribute them on YouTube. This is a newer area for me. I don't have as much background or information or experience in intellectual property and acquiring content. I've had a lot of people just give me their content to be able to use. That helps promote them, but never actually acquiring any of it. So this is one of the areas that I'm not very well versed in, but I'm quickly getting an education on. And again, if the goal is to go 10x and you're going to be somebody new, you're going to do different things, it's going to require you to stretch and grow. And so this is one of the areas that I need to stretch and grow with. If there's a legend that you love and you'd be amazed to see more of their content on YouTube, let me know too in the comments below, and maybe I'll acquire some of theirs. Number 4 is epic roundtables. I love the idea of being able to bring together some of the most well-known people in a niche and have them share their thoughts on how to succeed in that industry. I don't pretend to be the expert on all these industries, so I see myself either as a facilitator or just the host to set it up, and I'd love to have those entrepreneurs all share their best advice. And we're aiming high. We're aiming for some pretty impossible names of people who have never done anything like this, and a lot of egos to manage. But imagine any industry, imagine any category that you could put people in, and then thinking who are the most successful people that are living of all time right now, but still alive, in that niche, in that field, and then having 6 to 8 of them sit together at a table and jam for 2 to 3 hours on that topic, where they share their best advice, where they ask each other for help, and we film the whole thing and put it up on YouTube. And again, I'm just moderating or hosting. It's not about me, but basically bringing these people together to facilitate my goal being the best conversation ever for that niche. And so we're working on one that is pretty insane, and stay tuned on the details. The challenge with all of these big projects are they take a ton of time just to get the meetings and to figure out the way through the gatekeeper. If I wanted to do something small, if I wanted to do a roundtable of people who had built a $100,000 business or $1 million business in different industries, that's pretty easy to do. But we're going after some of the biggest names on the planet where they have sometimes never even done an interview or definitely not done a YouTube series. And so it's a lot of Q&A, a lot of back and forth, a lot of gatekeepers, a lot of process and red tape. But if you want to grow 10x, you got to start thinking bigger. And I'm talking to myself in that process. I need to start thinking bigger. And so this is one of the projects I'm working on, making these epic roundtables. Number 5 is to dub my content. We've had tremendous success with dubbed content. We have a Spanish channel that has over 1 million subscribers. We have a Russian channel that has over 1 million subscribers. And we're seeing tremendous growth in non-English content. I think the competition is the highest in English. And if we look at those other 2 channels that we created in Russian and Spanish, they're getting outsized growth. Like they hit 1 million subscribers so much faster than my main channel did with a fraction of the content, because people are really starving for that content. And so now we're looking at how do we dub content on the main channel? How do we expand it out to multiple languages? I don't know how many languages there are, but whether it's actors, whether it's AI, working through a bunch of options. I don't know how to make it affordable. Even just looking at one language, even if we just did Spanish across all of our videos, thousands of videos, it's gonna cost a ton of money. But I'm trying not to get too stuck in the how, because the how is what kills most people's dreams. When you're stuck in how mode, well, how am I gonna do that? Then you end up not doing anything and the fear paralyzes you. So I'm just holding it as an idea that this is something I wanna do. This is something that I need to do. We need to go international. We need to help solve Believe around the world, because it's the world's biggest problem. And Spanish should probably be the first one, and then expanding to other languages. And again, if you guys like this series and wanna hear more updates from me, I can keep you posted with our progress, all of the frustrations, all of the roadblocks, and then hopefully some wins as well as we get some home runs in creating this plan. Number 6 is distribution partners. And here is looking at how do I partner with other people who might be able to help spread the message so that I'm not solely relying on the YouTube algorithm to get my content out. Do we need to master the YouTube algorithm? 100%. We're doing the best that we can. Always new things to learn. And are there other ways? Are there people who could help promote the content for us, get the word out for us, that we partner with, that they have a big list or lots of connections, and that when we create something, they want to share it as well. So there's a few big companies that we're looking at and talking to and trying to create some collaborations with, where we do a series. And I don't care about making money from the series. It's not about a brand deal. It's basically trying to flip the brand deals. Like, I don't need your money. I don't want brand deal money. I want brand deal distribution. So instead of paying me for video, I want you to help spread this video to everybody on your list. And again, that is something that hasn't been done. That is something that requires a lot of negotiating and a lot of red tape and a lot of layers and a lot of bureaucracy. If you want to do 10x things, you got to go deeper and spend more time on it. And so we're looking at a couple of potential partners to do this with, and I'll keep you posted. Number 7 is doing more work on my personal brand. One of the comments I probably get the most often is, Evan, we want more of you on your channel. We love hearing these stories from successful entrepreneurs, but tell us more about you and how you got started and what you're struggling with and what you're going through. Over the years, I've gotten better at doing it. It still feels awkward because it's never been about me. It's been about the mission. But in the very early days, I wouldn't do it at all. It's like, why do you want to learn from me when I'm profiling Oprah here? What do I have to share compared to Oprah, right? Go listen to her. And I've slowly realized that the more people learn from me, the more people hear my story, the more they can connect to it and the mission and the reason why I even do this channel in the first place. And I kept going for 14 years of making videos. Crazy. I don't quite know what more Evan looks like. This honestly is an experiment right here. I'm going for my walk. I try to do 3 hours outside on a walk every day. It's beautiful here in Toronto, Canada right now. And I'm sharing what's on my heart. And I'm sharing the thing that I'm trying to create that I hope will work, that is full of holes. I'm struggling with it. And so I'm bringing you into behind the scenes. And so maybe I'll do more behind the scenes content. Maybe I'll do more me direct to camera. I do a lot of the coaching content already, but spreading more Evan. And again, if you guys have ideas for what you'd like to see, let me know down in the comments, because I'd love to see it. Number 8 is killer short form content. So YouTube has obviously made a big push for short form content with shorts, and they're trying to compete with Instagram and Snap and TikTok and everybody else. And I haven't fully cracked the code yet for explosive growth on shorts in a way that doesn't destroy the main channel. So content that goes viral is usually something very controversial, and it ends up bringing in a ton of the wrong audience. Or a lot of times channels grow only through shorts, and then they really struggle with their long form content. The amount of entrepreneurs who I've seen blow up on shorts because it's the fastest way to grow, but then really struggle with their long form content is incredible. And I definitely don't want to sacrifice the long form videos, because that's where I think most of the impact happens. There's only so much you can learn in a 40-second clip versus if you can really go deep with somebody. And so I don't know who's crushing it. I don't have a model to follow, and I think everybody's still trying to figure it out. I definitely don't want to just be the guy who's blowing up on shorts and getting explosive growth. That's actually the fastest way to get 35 million subscribers, but doing it in the right way. I don't want to have a 35 million subscriber channel where it's all just shorts and there's very little impact that's actually happening. So it's not the goal just for the sake of the goal, right? I mean, the fastest way, I could just buy a whole bunch of ads and then I'd get 35 million subscribers, but that's not what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to do it in the right way. So I need to figure out what the right way is with shorts. Right now, is the time of this filming, we're doing 1 short a day and 1 long form video a day. That's the current content schedule. And the shorts are not negatively impacting the channel as far as I can see yet. And so we could be a lot more aggressive with the shorts and just super paying attention to do not screw up the channel with the long form videos. Number 9 is using AI. There's no secret that AI is taking over every single industry in the YouTube world. I haven't found AI to be great for writing the scripts for videos, and I'm not a faceless channel. I still like being in front of the camera, etc. But there's 2 key things that we're doing with AI that might be helpful. The first is in creating the thumbnails and titles. So with thumbnails, we'll use Midjourney a lot to get inspiration. Sometimes we use the Midjourney picture, sometimes it's just inspiration for what we could put on the thumbnail. And then for the titles, we've been doing a lot of different testing with GPT on what we could put in our title. At the very beginning, it was just, here's a video about blank. What do you think should be the title? And you use like, pretend you are an expert in YouTube title generation, right? You're a marketing expert. What should the title be? And you'll get some ideas, but they weren't very good. Then we evolved to take the transcript, and this is a piece of what we still do, where you take the opening 500 words or whatever of a transcript and you say, my YouTube video starts with this. Please give me a title that will make people want to click on the video. And that we started getting some results with. The level up from there was, we told it that pretend you are a marketing legend, and we gave it names. So pretend you are David Ogilvy, who's the king of advertising, or pretend you are Philip Kotler, or pretend you are Gary Halbert, who's the king of direct response copywriting. And now, here's a transcript for my video. What should we call this video? And we started getting better results. And those titles were beating my titles maybe 30% of the time, which is great. I mean, it's not 100%, but 30% is still pretty good. And then the most recent version is we're taking our related videos. So if you go to YouTube, go to the audience tab, you'll see related videos that our audience is watching. And we'll take some of those titles and say, here's what our audience is currently watching, plus here's a transcript of our video. What should we call this video? And we're getting much better results with that as well. And this is all super early stage, right? This is all incredibly early. Those 3 or 4 variations that I just went through have happened basically 1 per week in the past 3 to 4 weeks, and more will come. That's just my current state of mind for how things are working, and we're getting some good results from it. You then split test it. I use my software to help do that, and we get to prove that it's working. Not just that I like this title better, but data is showing that it's actually working and improving. The other thing that we're playing around with AI is me doing interviews with people. And so I don't know when this will drop, but I'm doing an interview with AI Steve Jobs. And so I asked AI Steve, I created a GPT character, AI Steve Jobs, and then asked him some questions. And we're gonna turn that into a YouTube video, and we'll see how it does. I like some of the answers, they're actually pretty insightful, but we'll see. Maybe people loved it, maybe people will hate it, but it's an experiment. Whether all of these split test things work out, whether the content with interviews work out, it doesn't really matter. It's more that AI is definitely here. We're playing with it. And if I wanna grow 10x to my goal and hit 35 million subscribers, we need to become even bigger experts than we already are. And if you're not an AI trained, it could 10x your business too. And the last one on my list, number 10, before we get to a special bonus one that I just thought of, is community. There was this quote that Bill Gates said, which basically was,
the number of students who can learn without a social setting around it is very, very small.
You can learn independently, you can learn on your own, but it's really, really hard when you don't have people around you. So university or college environment can be a great environment to learning because you're with people. The content kind of sucks, you're just memorizing, you're not actually learning, but that's a different story. So I thought, how do we bring that to YouTube? How do we get community learning? Because I love community. I mean, when I go and meet people, I go to events and I speak on stage, my favorite thing is connecting with them afterwards to see how I can help and go deeper. So community is foundational for me. So how do we bring that to a YouTube environment? I don't know, and I would love your feedback and suggestions if you want to leave something in the comments below. My best guess right now is doing Premiere. So if you see what we've been doing, again, it may change by the time this video comes out. By the time of this release, we're doing 5 days a week Premiere. So our long form videos go live as a Premiere. My team jump on early and start talking to people, start asking questions, and you get to watch the video with fellow people in Believe Nation, some amazing humans, and chat and see what you learn and ask for help and create a dialogue. And the goal is that for people who come back every day, that you start to be a part of a community, that you're not learning all by yourself and on your own, but there's people here who will support you. And this is a pretty new experiment. We're maybe 2 weeks in on it, but it's great to see some people already coming back, already helping, already sharing, already looking forward to the next premiere that's coming up. I don't think premieres are a great strategy for people unless you plan on being involved in the community and answering questions and talking to people. We have such an amazing community. People say YouTube is so toxic. I go to my comment section and I just see amazing humans. You guys are awesome. How do we get you guys learning together, connecting together, talking together? Because YouTube kind of sucks as a platform to do that. I think Premieres is the best shot right now. We have a Discord that might be helpful. It's evancarmichael.biz if you want to join. But I'd love other ideas, thoughts, suggestions to make this even more valuable for you, because I think your next level of growth, your next business partner, your next relationship might be from people right here in Believe Nation, because you guys are awesome. And my bonus tip for this, for myself, is to model success. One of the things I always tell people is when you don't know what to do, you're at the beginning of a journey, find the people who have done it. Don't listen to people who have no idea what they're talking. Everybody will have an opinion. Learn from their success, even if you don't know them personally. Study them and see what they've done so you can shortcut your path. And so I've added to my weekly practice to look at channels that have already grown to 35 million subscribers. Nobody's done it exactly in my space of entrepreneurship, education, but other people have done it in different spaces. And so what can I learn from them as inspiration, as motivation, as hope, as strategies that I can apply to make my channel 10x too? So those are my quick thoughts. Those are my 10 steps. We managed to go with 10 different things that I want to do to grow my channel 10x to 35 million subscribers. I love your feedback. I love your thoughts. We're doing this together. You're part of the family if you're watching this. What do you think? What ideas do you have? Am I hitting the mark? Am I way off? Do you have a new idea that I haven't considered or thought of that could really help me accomplish my goal? Please let me know down in the comments below. I'm going to check it out personally and can't wait to see the ideas that you've got for me.
To see Ben Hardy coach me on how to 10x my business, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
All right, why don't we start with this, Ben? 10x is easier than 2x. The concept is that it's easier to grow 10 times than it is 2 times.
Well, if you're going to go for 2x growth in anything, what that means is that mostly I'm operating from my past.